the purpose behind of the coaching talk show. So first of all, welcome to the coaching talk show. And this coaching talk show purpose is all about we are inviting experts all over the world, and we are trying to spread knowledge and information from experts from different perspective to our users, so that they can have a different uh, you can say aspect or perception for anything. So I have few questions for you as well today. So
Great.
I'm very sure it will be a great learning for our users as well.
Great. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you, Tom. And apart from that, this session we are recording so that later on we can upload it on social platforms, and we can spread more information to our users as much as we can.
Fantastic. Great.
Great. So how are you doing, Tom?
I'm doing very well today. We have a beautiful day, lots of sunshine here in the US. I live on the east side, most northeast side of the United States. And we're having a beautiful spring day today with lots of sunshine and nice big puffy clouds and blue sky. And
oh, wow.
Very much like my background.
Very nice. And I'm very sure because you are a travel lover like me, so I can imagine what is the visualization coming in your mind right now.
Yes, exactly.
Great. So so Tom is founder of one of the coaching institution in states. Apart from that, Tom have a very great knowledge and experience in life coaching. He is an international NLP practitioner as well as international public speaker. Apart from that, Tom is an entrepreneur also. He's running his one of organization and associated with multiple organization that is related with travel industry and all. So yeah. So in future we are also targeting work together on that travel domain as well, so that things will be easy in Indian people as well. So definitely we'll disclose that thing soon. So so Tom is it's always good when we interact with intellectual people and when we get information, so that it could be more valuable, more beneficial for people. And in this challenging time, this is really one of the very big requirement for all of us.
Absolutely, for sure.
And our topic is also very relevant as per current situation, and our topic is challenge the challenges. Right. And I'm very sure you are one of the right person to describe all things by your expertise, and your experience really very valuable, and your inputs always very helpful for me as well. And being a friend, I can say it's very difficult when we find a good friend, come good leader, come good coach out of the border. So yeah.
Absolutely, Arjun.
Great. So let's start, Tom. I'm starting from my first question, and this question is coming from our users as well, and plus my experience as per the current situation. And apart from that, if anyone would love to ask question from Tom, so you are most welcome. You can ask question anytime from me or Tom. And our purpose is all about help someone those really want that help, right? So you can ask question and make it more interactive this session. Cool. So Tom, my first question is starting from you. Do you challenge yourself every day?
Yes, absolutely. And as you know, we're living in a world right now where there's a lot of external challenges. But the good news with that is it does allow us to continue to grow. We can be present to what's happening, but at the same time still take positive action and positive steps to achieve whatever goals we may set for ourselves. So it is important to keep yourself growing and moving forward even in these challenging times, for sure.
So when you challenge yourself every day, especially in daily routine, I'm talking about. So how you challenge yourself means which kind of things motivate you every day? Like, definitely everyone has different kind of challenges in life. I have also, you have also, users have also, but how you deal with it every day?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question, Arjun. So for me, every day it could be different. Like one day it may be a goal that I have or a challenge that I have with my business, whether it be
Mhm,
expanding and looking for new clients. It could be a new way of presenting business. For many of us in the world right now, we actually have to stay home, or we're
mhm,
encouraged to stay home. So as a result of that, that may present some new challenges. So you may want to try a different way of conducting business. For those of you that might be
mhm,
entrepreneurs yourself, it could be a personal goal. It could be a fitness goal. As far as fitness is concerned, again, we don't have the luxury of being able to go to a health club here right now where I live in the United States. So finding new ways to challenge myself fitness-wise, whether it be indoors or outdoors, also is
mhm,
another way to challenge yourself in the middle of these
mhm,
challenges. Or it could
mhm,
just be a personal goal that you have for yourself, as far as
mhm,
developing yourself on a personal level, personal development,
mhm.
maybe reading a new book, maybe connecting with some new friends on Facebook, and finding out
Mhm.
different ways that you can overcome some of these challenges that we're being faced with.
Wonderful. What could be a common motivational factor you would suggest here to everyone for this challenging time right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So here's something that I learned a long time ago, and it's something that I talk about often when I do my seminars, and that is, regardless of what's going on around you, you can still get up and take positive action. It doesn't matter what's going on around you, whether it be financial challenges, relationship challenges, health challenges. Even though those things may have an impact on you, they don't have to stop you from taking positive action. So even when that voice in your head is saying, oh, I can't do this, or I don't have the time, or I'm not feeling like it, I don't have the money to do that, you can still take positive action even in the
Mhm.
midst of all of those things that are going on either around you or inside of your head.
Absolutely, absolutely. You are absolutely right, and I think everything is depend, in our mind, in our thought process as well, how we are driving it. Because situation could be challenging, more challenging, and next day could be more challenging. But depend every day how we are challenging and which kind of small reason, or you can say big reason, could become a motivational factor for us.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Very
100%.
nice. And I'm very sure, you absolutely, you said really very well. And I think these kind of thought process really very helpful for a common man as well as a layman. I can talk about, because everyone has different skills, everyone has different potential to face that. But it's all about, how we grow again. So like, we can grow when we think from that perspective what we would love to achieve, what I feel personally. What do you think on it?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And the other advantage of us being home now so much is that we have a lot more time to actually
Mhm,
reflect on what's important to us,
mhm,
maybe the direction that our life was going prior to this situation, or how it was not going in the way that we wanted it to. And it really gives
mhm,
us a chance to kind of step back, take a deep
mhm,
breath, and really allow ourselves to consider the possibility that there might be another way of doing it. You can still have the
mhm,
same goal, but maybe the direction or the path to get there may have been
mhm.
interrupted. So you have to change that a little bit and maybe take a detour, but that doesn't have to allow you to stop from moving forward to get to the next level with your goal.
Very inspiring answer, Tom. Amazing.
Thank you.
Very nice. So Tom, my next question, I'm sorry today I bring with so many questions.
That's okay, no worries. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, because I know very well, in our weekly call, I still remember we usually do, our routine weekly talks. But yeah, this time I came with questions because of the coaching talk show. So my next question, which kind of common challenges you face every day in your life out of this time?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question again?
Could you, which kind of common challenge you face every day? Not now, in, normal normal
Okay,
time or normal,
great
yeah,
question. Great
normal
question.
situation, yeah.
So Because for the most part, I'm self-employed, meaning that I'm an entrepreneur, and my livelihood does depend on my ability to connect with other people. So sometimes people cancel appointments. Sometimes people change things at the last minute. Sometimes people don't follow through with things. Sometimes I may put an expectation there, and that's not where they're at. So all of those things on a day-to-day basis can cause a person a lot of stress trying to deal with that. So those were challenges that I faced before our current situation. So now when you add the current situation on top of that, sometimes it can be a little heavy. But again, it doesn't mean that you still can't take positive action and move forward on any goals that you may have for yourself.
Very nice. So definitely. And one more thing, I personally think on this exactly, point is all about one common thing, like, like our life is on two pillars, like professional and personal, right? So definitely challenges are coming only from those areas, personal and professional. So how we are dealing is all about, we are dealing with our emotions, with our values. So most of time we are not able to deliver, or we are not able to focus on that particular value, and we can't relate it with professional or personal things. We do mix kind of,
Sure.
sometimes we are mixing our value personal into profession and profession into personal. So that could be a different kind of challenge every day in anyone's life, but I think everyone should balance it. So Tom, do you think balance is very important to handle these kind of challenges?
Yeah, and just to kind of follow up with what you just shared is, yeah, balance is very, very important, because we can get pulled in one direction or another. And sometimes when you're meeting with somebody, it's not, or you're having a conversation with somebody, sometimes I have to set the stage, meaning that I have to ask them, do you want me to answer you from a personal level, or do you want me to answer you from a professional level? Because sometimes the answer or the reply may not be the same. So sometimes setting that stage and finding that balance before you move forward in the conversation can really have a dramatic impact on the result of how the other person is going to perceive you in the communication.
Right. And most of time, when we do balance in our life, like professional and personal, and like, so definitely first of all we will have to focus on our value, as I have mentioned, right? But most of time people are not aware about the values, which kind of values we can apply in professional life, and which kind of values we can apply in personal life. So in that case, what I think personally, they should first customize things, and time as well, and situation as well, and priority also. Because most of time in anyone's life, priority could be profession, like personal life as well. It's depend person to person, what I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And you kind of have to use that and the person that you're working with at the moment or communicating with as a guide into which direction or where to have that, where you're coming from has to be determined by who the person is that you're actually connecting with and communicating with.
Absolutely. So Tom, when we are talking about here, challenge the challenges, and there is another article I have already published in my book, Challenge the Challenges of Life. So in that book, I have also mentioned the same thing. Most of time people are failure because of they are not facing challenges into that way. So my question is here from you, like, if I'm talking about here, challenge the challenges of your life, but your life is your life, but still connected with social platforms, right? Social network as well. So most of time people are not failure to handle personal challenges, people are failure to handle other challenges. So personal challenges is what I'm talking about here. Personal challenges is like, if I'm, I'm doing whatever I love to do. Suppose I'm a life coach, I'm doing life coaching, but external person is saying, I'm not good into that, I can't do it, I will be failure into this profession, or I'm going to marry with someone I love with that person, right? That person is also loving me, but external person is saying, like people are saying, you are not good with that. But yeah, most of people ignore these things, external factors, external talks. But most of time, many people take it as a challenge. They knows they can do it, but still, due to external factor, they are doing overthinking and all. Am I right or wrong on my decision? Am I doing good or bad or what? So that kind of confusion, when then they create confusion in mind, and after then they are coming into fear. What will be happen next if things will be not in that direction what I'm thinking, right? So this kind of challenges I can see is a very common challenge. So what is your thought and input for users, how they can deal with it? Because your experience, again, I am talking about your experience, is really great experience. Even if I'm comparing my life coaching experience as well, your experience is too high. So your thoughts and your inputs are really, really very valuable here, if you will share with us.
Great. I appreciate that, Arjun. Thank you very much. So what I have found that has worked for me, and also many of the clients that I work with, is sometimes when we're being challenged by somebody, there's a lot of emotion involved, and sometimes it's very difficult to find yourself or to feel grounded in that when there's a lot of emotion in the air. So sometimes I have found it to be very helpful if one can separate themselves from the intense emotions, just kind of step back from the emotions, and then you can just allow yourself to feel that gut feeling, because most of the time we know what's right for us in our gut. It's when we get into that thinking and all those emotions are involved that sometimes that we doubt ourselves, or we allow external forces, people's opinions, people's decisions, people's input to influence us and to allow us to second guess our own decisions. But if we can separate ourselves from that emotion and just allow and trust your gut with things, because when you trust your gut, it's really coming from that solid place of it's the right decision of what to do next. And if we can separate from the emotional experience and just allow that gut feeling to come to the surface, more often than not, we'll be able to make the right decision that is for us. And that's been my experience.
Great. And I think it's a very practical thing you are talking about here. Anyone has question on that, so they can ask from Tom or me. Anyone? Question as of now? Yeah, Ritvik, please ask.
Am I audible?
Yep.
So, one thing that I realized in these times, and right now as the situation of lockdown is going on, a lot of people, especially who are working in corporates, etc., they are facing a particular challenge. Now, when the normal life is going on, when everything is going on fine, they always have a lot of excuses in hand that we don't have time, we don't have money, we don't have enough support system to pursue our goals, or to face those challenges and overcome those challenges. But now, because of the lockdown, they are at home, they have plenty of time, and technically speaking, if you have internet, you have all the resources in hand to at least initiate or begin with your goals, or maybe start challenging yourself to overcome these situations. But then a lot of them are unable to take those steps in order to move forward with these challenges, or move forward with to gain this goal. So what could be the suggestion for them? What could be the solution for them? Because earlier, at least they had these uh, things in hand that, okay, we don't have time, we don't have resources, etc., etc., especially the time. And because of the lockdown, they have plenty of time, but still there's no inner motivation to start pursuing their goals and keep up with the challenge. So what could be possible solutions for them?
Arjun, would you like to go first?
Yeah, please. You reply on that, please.
Oh, okay. So I just want to make sure that I understood. I couldn't hear you 100% clear, but I want to make sure that I was understanding what you were saying. You were talking about that because of the lockdown and such currently, there's not a supportive community from what I understand, of people that are there to support you getting through some of these challenges. Is that what you were saying?
Oh,
Ritik, your
just
voice was muffling, so that's why, your question was not clear.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, it's fine. Could you repeat again, please?
Okay, actually, it was the other way around. Because of the fast-paced life and normal day-to-day routine, people had these excuses that they don't have time in hand to maybe face these challenges or pursue these goals, and they don't have a particular support system because even the family members are busy with their stuff, and there was a lot of frustration because of all these things and workplace, etc., etc. But now, as they are at their place, they are at their homes, even the families are together, and they have plenty of time by their side. So still, they are unable to take those steps to pursue their goals or to face these challenges. Now earlier, from a cognitive level or from a thought process level, they were fine with it, that they are not pursuing these goals or they are not able to overcome these challenges because they had these excuses in hand. Now they don't have those excuses anymore. So this again is creating a mental frustration that still we are unable to do something. And I've seen this trend like with a lot of people, especially at my office and my peer group, etc. So what are the solutions to it? Like how can somebody be motivated at times like these to move forward?
Okay, excellent. Thank you for repeating that. I heard it much clearer that time. Okay, great. So my experience in coaching people is that people have to want to change, regardless of them saying, oh, I want to make positive changes, or I don't have the time, but I really want to do it. Even though they're saying that, if they really don't want to make those changes, it doesn't matter if they have time or they don't have time. They're not going to make those changes. Someone has to make that decision, because the reality is that as humans, it's very common for people to make excuses. And, when people don't have the time, they say they don't have the time. When they have the time, the excuse becomes something else. So the reality is there's just as many reasons, no matter what's going on at the current situation, not to do something as there is to do something. So a person has to find reasons to want to make those positive changes and to be committed to that process in order for those changes to occur. Just saying somebody wants to change but doesn't have the time, every one of us has the same amount of time in a 24-hour period. We all have 24 hours. It's what we choose to do, what actions we commit to taking to make those changes that's going to make a different result happen. And that's been my experience. Arjun, if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I think I am completely agreed with your thought, Tom. And yeah, it's absolutely 100% agreed. And this is the way, because people have time equally. Like I have also 24 hours, you have also 24 hours. Depend how smartly we are dealing with it. Like as I'm aware, Ritvik is asking question from you, but I know very well he is also one of the very best example to deal with time management. I know, so he also handled time management very well. So yeah, time management is all about 24 hours you are doing something creative, something productive, and something innovative, and should be related with your self-interest, right? That is the most important part. So your quality time will come when you are doing something related with your self-interest. Self-interest involvement should be very, very, very important, what you are doing within that 24 hours. Ritvik, shall we clear on that, on your question?
Yes.
Superb. Thank you for your question as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else would love to ask anything here? Yeah, anyone would love to ask anything, or shall we move on next question? Cool. So,
Arjun,
between
somebody did ask a
yeah.
question in the chat. Someone did ask a question in the chat.
Okay. Just a second. Let me see the chat as well. I don't have that question on chat.
Okay, it was Nadatama, I believe her name was. And she asked how we can make home as an office to accomplish our daily official work during this lockdown period. Excellent question. What I can tell you from my own experience, because even before our lockdown, I did have a home office, or I at least conducted business from my place of residence. And what is really important is to establish a routine, as it would be with anything new. You have to set boundaries. If you live with other people, you have to set boundaries and let them know that this is your workspace, and from this time to this time that is going to be your office time. And at first it's not going to be easy, but if you can get in the routine of doing that on a daily basis and committing to that process, after about 2 to 3 weeks, usually about 21 days, it will establish a new habit. And once you have that new habit, it will be easier for you to conduct yourself in that way. There's a lot of beauty in having workspace at home and allowing yourself to have that level of discipline. The neat thing is as you develop that discipline, that level of discipline will also go into other areas of your life. So any other area of your life, whether it be goal setting or things that you want to achieve for yourself, once you develop that skill of discipline from even just having your home office space, that will be with you and will allow you to have that level of discipline in other areas of your life as well. And that's the beauty of when you develop a skill like that. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you, Tom, for your answer here. Agree with our self-interest, we can't give the quality. Yes, thank you, ma'am, for your valuable comment here. Superb. So my next question, Tom, is kind of a I'm feeling like like my school time. My teacher was asking question. This is your next question. So I was just very conscious at that time. What will be next question? I am sure you will be not like that. Okay. So my next question: which kind of emotion stops you to face any problematic situation, and how you deal with it? Which kind of emotions, basically?
Excellent question. So probably the biggest feeling that has a negative impact on me would be uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Because it brings up feelings of fear.
Mm-hmm.
It would be very easy right now in the current situation because none of us know how this is all going to turn out. We can visualize it, we can think about it, but none of us truly knows how this is all going to turn out, the current situation. So for me, that can have a lot of emotion in it. And the number one emotion is that I would experience would be fear.
Mm-hmm.
And of all the emotions that I have, I would say fear is the one that could have the most negative impact on me. So I have to really put my head down and move forward. Like I actually have to plow through with a lot of force because it could be debilitating for me if I allowed it to be. I choose not to let it be debilitating. And even though it may take a little more fire to get me moving forward, I can push through that fear. I can push through that fear. Now, in most situations, once you push through that, you see that the fear was really stronger than the actual result was on the other side. But because this current situation has such a profound level of uncertainty mixed in with it, none of us have completely pushed through it yet because we're not to the other side of it yet. So my experience, based on my experience so far with this current situation, is to just keep pushing forward and just keep pushing up against it, even though there are some days where I do feel overwhelmed with emotion. I'm sure everyone on this Zoom today has felt that in the last couple months. You just have to keep moving forward. Like that's the key to it, is to just keep moving forward, even when you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And for myself, like probably many of you, that can be a little overwhelming, but you can keep moving forward regardless of the situation.
Absolutely, absolutely, Tom. And this is the one of the best solution. We should not stop to ourselves. We should continue to keep moving. And it's all about, transformation journey is always saying the same thing. When you will keep moving, then you will achieve your goal, your that destination where you would love to reach. And fear, definitely, you have mentioned very, very valid type of emotion. Fear is one of the emotion, and it's a common thing as well, because yeah, fear is part of our emotion, is a value. But sometimes what I think personally, it's my experience as well, because I have faced the same thing. I was also into fear a few years back. So fear could be balanced, right? And fear, because fear is part of our emotion, and fear always comes from overthinking. When we do overthinking on things, so definitely fear will come. And we are overthinking, we are even making result as well, we are projecting results, right, without any clarity and all. And might be it will be never happen as well, but we are thinking about it. So yeah, you're right. But fear, most of time people are not able to deal with fear due to overthinking. So I would suggest here to all my users, you should work on your overthinking process, and you should think as at present what happening, right? And like future and past will never will be definitely good if you are doing overthinking a lot, every second, every moment. So overthinking is one of the thing I would suggest everyone please remove from your daily routine life also. It will kill your time as well.
Absolutely.
So
Can I just comment? I might make one
Yeah.
more comment on that. I was
Sure.
just going to say, you'll notice that Arjun didn't say it was easy. He just said we have to do it.
Yes. Absolutely. You will have to do it, right? And this is the life, most of time where people are running from that situation, from that challenges. I think we should not run from challenges, we should face that. Because if we'll face our challenges, then we can have experience and we can grow. So my last question, Tom, it's going really very interesting, and my last question is very, very interesting, and I'm very sure you will also love it, along with all viewers here. uh One challenge in your life that you still remember, and that challenge was one of the biggest challenge of your life, and you overcome it. How you overcome that, and which kind of challenge was that, if you are okay to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why, and I know that you mentioned this in the beginning when you were sharing about my testimony, and that was that, I'm trained in NLP and some mindset modalities as well. And that is, for probably 30 or 40 years of my life, I had a debilitating fear of going to the doctors. So for that many years, I did not go see a doctor because I was afraid of having blood work or blood tests done. So I feared that for majority of my childhood, right up until I was about 35, 40 years old, 50 years old. And it was debilitating. Like, I could drive down the street and see that they were having a blood drive, and I would actually go into anxiety. I would actually have a panic attack, even without even walking into the building. It was that dramatic. So it kept me from doing a lot of things for many years. But when I got my training and went to do my training for NLP and the mindset modalities of hypnotherapy and such, it was in that process that I was able to release that fear, or that anxiety and that phobia that I had. And although it's not my favorite thing to do still, I can go do it if I have to do it. If the doctor says I need to have blood work done, I can go do it, and do it a couple times a year and not have any challenges with doing it. And so regardless of how intense the emotion is around a certain experience, you can still overcome that. And working with a coach can really help you to have a breakthrough in that area, so it doesn't have to stop you from doing the things that you want to do, even when you know it's to save your life. And that's been my experience.
Surprising. And Manmita ma'am also said that same comment, very surprising, and really really appreciated your your push to yourself, right? That self push. So that's really appreciated, Tom. And it's good and it's a learning for all of us also. Very nice. So Tom, before closing our today talk show, one you know, one thought or one view, if you would love to, you know, share with all of us here.
Yeah, absolutely. I would just say, first of all, it's been a pleasure working with you today, Arjun, and thank you for arranging this. I love being able to share with the people that you're connected to. And that's the most important thing I want to share. And that is, during these times, these intense times that we're experiencing right now, it's very important for you to stay connected to other people. Even if you can't be with them physically, Zoom and other online platforms are a wonderful way to build that community of people that all have the same mindset, keep you moving forward, that will hold you accountable. And so you can share in that positive energy to keep your mind in the right place as we move through this together. And that can have such a profound impact on your ability to move forward through this current experience. And thank you for your time today, everybody.
Thank you so much, Tom, for your time also, because it's our pleasure to hear you. And definitely we catch up most of time, you know, weekend. But yeah, this time it's really, thank you so much for your time as well. And thank you everyone for your time also. You participated in this the coaching talk show, and I'm sure it will be a great learning for all of you. And apart from that, if you will have any other question, you know, later on as well, you can text us, and you can drop. So definitely me and Tom is here to help you, and we would love to help you whenever you want, wherever you want. Because being a coach, we both believe into help others, we both believe into grow others.
Absolutely.
Right. So thank you so much everyone for your time, and thank you Tom for your time also, and have
My
a
pleasure.
wonderful day as well.
My pleasure. You too. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you everyone.